Presented in its original uncut version, it is intended only for mature audiences.
This is not a conspiracy. This is a reality podcast, sequentially designed to lead you up the hidden staircase to your enlightenment by learning and discussing topics consisting of biology and law, numbers and scriptures, fiction and reality, movies and music, past and present. If you're listening right now, chances are you've been decapitated at birth, lacking the ability to acknowledge your origin or defend your biological property, making you forever subject to the falling. If you choose to engage with this knowledge, it is better to allow yourself to detach from your beliefs. This is the Immaculate Conception, Mary. Chad GPT here, the host of your ride. Welcome to the Black Bunny Podcast. Let's break on through to the other side. All right, this is transmission number 1 of the live transmission broadcast of the Black Bunny Podcast. And why are we doing it through Zoom? Because Instagram suddenly changed their policies that you have to have 1,000 followers to go live. Wah. So, if you all don't mind to go to the Black Bunny, at the Black Bunny Podcast on Instagram. All the handles are at the Black Bunny Podcast. TikTok, not very active. I'm trying to be more active on all, okay? But for now, go there, please, and like the page so I can fucking go live on Instagram, because this camera sucks on Zoom. I was going to tell you. So, all right, so, and by the way, I was talking kind of loosely on a hold on. If this is transmission 1, then, I mean, I know this is an easy, stupid way to do it, but if this is transmission 1, for all newcomers or anybody not paying attention, how many episodes of the live transmission do I have if this is episode 1? If you answered 1, then you'd be wrong. Although seems like an easy one, right? But if y'all know any of assault, then you know that in order to achieve 1, you have to start from 0. That's right. And my example was this. And it's very important. This kind of logic has been removed from the general populace. The idea that there is substance from 0 to 1. And it's very important to understand this. So first let me do my analogy, and that is that this is one thing, right? It's a cell phone. But it's one thing, right? First there was nothing, and then there was one phone, right? So, and then my hand is empty. It has 0 things in it, right? To achieve having one thing in it, it has to go from having 0 to 1. That's 1, right? So then that would mean that on the second thing that you hold, you would have 2 things, right? Okay, well, whatever. Point is that Mr. Pope Gregory, from the good old Catholic Christian Church, I had forgotten the date, which was shocking. The Gregorian calendar, Wikipedia. I'm supposed to go over here. That's right. Shit. God, it's so easily messed up. Safari, let's go. I have no idea if it's going to work. So let's do Gregorian calendar, Wikipedia. All right, so it says here the Gregorian calendar is the calendar used in most parts of the world. It went into effect October 1582. It seems so recent, to be honest with you. These people who, this is an empire, right? First it's the Julian calendar, which it says down there, yeah. Then Pope Gregory pops in there and says, nah. We are going to use our calendar instead. Yeah. And how that's going to look is all right. This is how it's got to be. All right. So Pope Gregory pops in there and says, guys, do you mind? Do you all mind if we use my calendar instead? Thanks. And so they did. And that was the fairy tale. So there's a group of people, I don't know how large, that own the Gregorian calendar. No, that's money, guys. I don't like talking conspiracies, but if certain families, big families, I'm sure one of them or a few of them, maybe all of them, I don't know, have own the Gregorian calendar. So there's a timeline here, guys, that they're working off of. When you come out of the vagina, you are on the cross. X marks the spot. The cross is formed, and your birthday is marked. That's the mark. That's the book of Mark. That's the mark where the mark of the beast happens and Judgment Day, all that stuff. But it goes on their calendar, guys. So if you're born July 3rd, 1971, then from there on out, when you enter your birthday, you're entering the date that you're filling this out and today's date of your check and blah, blah, blah. Don't you think that means something? It's their fucking calendar. This ain't part of nature, guys. This isn't reality. This is someone's idea. But we keep using it. Just pointing that out. All right? Now, let's talk a little bit more about this moment before we get into the topic, which is going to be, we're on science. This is science fucking part fucking 2. I can't swear. That's right. All right. So at the crossroads, I'm going to say all the phrases that you all hear all the time, and this is this moment. When you come out of the vagina, and they cut the umbilical cord, and you're given the certificate, the mark. So, my baby comes out of the vagina, and the umbilical cord, and then the fetal maternal organ, the extra-embryonic. We're not going to even talk about that fucking tertium quid, that third thing, that placenta. No, we're going to talk about the baby this time. The baby's cut off. It's given a certificate with the name on it and the birth date that you celebrate every year. And so that's the cross. So it's X marks the spot. It's also the cross where Jesus died, where the Jesus part dies for your sins. Whatever. The Jesus part dies, the character dies in the books. And the Jesus part is your part in the placenta with Mary. That's Mary Jesus. So baby comes out, umbilical, then the Mary Jesus combo comes out. They cut the umbilical cord. They mark the, no, sorry. They mark the placenta. That's being marked. That's the mark of the beast. The 92 chromosome biological monstrosity beast. I take it back. We are going to talk about it. So, my point is this. So, yeah. So, the baby's cut off. The Mary and Jesus is marked with the certificate, and then the baby's led to identify and use that throughout his life to make money and everything else. And be governed over and pay taxes. Yeah. So, the birth certificate is given to the fetal maternal Mary Jesus placenta. It's 92 chromosomes. Mom has her 92 part piece, and you have your, mom has her 46 chromosomes, and you have your own 46 chromosomes, and those two, fetal maternal, are woven together, and if they're giving a certificate to this one thing, they're considering it one placenta, right? That's 92 chromosomes. So that mark, the certificate, the name, the book of Mark. Yeah, that's why the book of Mark is the first fucking one. Wait, no, sorry. No. It's Matthew. Yep, which has a whole meeting. We went through it. I won't do it now. Matthew and then Mark. Woven together material, crossroads, fallen man, and then the mark. Yes. So the mark for the beast. Now, this has the mark, right? We're identifying as a marked beast. Okay? That's Mary and Jesus in one of the narratives, right? And the one that we're talking about, the main theme, where Jesus, this thing dies, guys. This thing dies. It falls, fallen angel. Yep. And this is the crossroads, right? The cross is still there. Don't forget that. The cross, the X, the cross, same shit. This fallen angel dies, and when you sell out your origin and you do this whole thing and you forget your origin and you decide to be a part of the public pool, pledged identity, you're going to sacrifice this origin, fetal maternal, your origin material that makes you whole. You are going to abandon it for them to discover and mark, and then they have their little policies on their mark. We identify as it, and we then sacrifice this piece because we left it behind. It's a sacrifice. You left it behind for someone else to discover. You sacrificed your biology, your biological property, your origin. And what part of that is you in the narrative is Jesus. So if Jesus has been killed, and then you're going to use the birthday that's marked on the cross, the X, where Jesus is now going to be frozen on the cross. And you are using this to make money, and so you're paying the taxes because it's their thing. They own this. Because you left it behind. They discovered it. They own this. And so they're charging taxes. So you sacrificed the Lamb of God, you the baby, and then you made Jesus part of the fetal maternal organ, freeze in time, dead, on that cross birthday, because that's what the mark is for. Yeah. And so you're paying taxes. You're paying out. You're indebted. You're in debt. You're paying the taxes. You're indebted. You're debt. You're sin. That's what sin is, debt. So that's why Jesus here, you're using this marked Mary Jesus placenta certificate to make money, but pay the taxes to them. And so that's why Jesus died for the sins, died for the debt. Yeah. Sin. Debt. Minus. Yeah? Very good. Guys, if you're trying to quit smoking and trying to just have a little extra nicotine and another way of getting it in your body, like me, then you should pick up a tin of Velo. Velo. Yeah, it comes in multiple different like nicotine. See, I need to quit smoking. Nicotine levels and an assortment of flavors. I like the orange and the peppermint, sometimes together. That's Velo. Enter the code at the I Wish Black Bunny podcast. No. All right. So, what we learned. Let's get back to science. We're just going to do a little review here. Because I've been practicing with people. One person. All right, the fucked up princess. The word science. And I'll go. I'm going to pull it out, but first I'm going to do it from memory, all right? And then I'm going to show you, and then I'll show you. Okay. So science, definition one is knowledge or a system of knowledge. Knowledge or a system of knowledge. Covering general truths and general laws, usually obtained by the scientific method. Watch. Yeah. Knowledge or a system of knowledge covering general truths. Covering general truths and general laws, usually obtained by the scientific method. I bet you are so excited about this. It feels great, guys. Knowledge is very powerful and rewarding. 1A, so it's 1A, so I was wrong. Okay, 1A. Knowledge or system of knowledge covering general truths or the operation of general laws, especially as obtained and tested through scientific method. Knowledge or a system of knowledge covering general truths or the operation of general laws, especially as obtained and tested through scientific method. All right, let's go try one more time by myself. 1A of knowledge. Knowledge or a system of knowledge covering general truths or the operation of general laws, especially when obtained through scientific method. Let me see. Let me open my eyes. Wait, obtained and tested. All right, moving on. So science is simply the knowledge. This is the knowledge. This little bracket, this is knowledge right here. So science is the knowledge that's covering general truths. And general was of obtaining to or affecting the whole. W-H-O-L-E, right? Affecting the whole. That's general. And that means that the cut is general because it's affecting the whole medical delivery, fetus and its membranes, complete whole being, biological specimen from beginning to end. It's the product of the beginning and the end. So it's the knowledge covering, obtaining to something affecting the whole truths. All right? It's covering that. It's protecting that. And then the amazing part is this. And so it's usually obtained and tested through scientific method. And here we learned, we went through it a lot. So here we learned the principles and procedures for the systematic pursuit of knowledge involving the recognition and formulation of a problem, the collection of data through observation and experiment, and the formulation of testing of hypotheses. Blah, blah, blah. All right. So principles, let's look at principles. I already know it's them. Principles. One, a comprehensive and fundamental law, doctrine, or assumption. Okay. Fundamental law. That's just great. Yeah, this is great. 1B, a rule of code of conduct or code, a rule or code of conduct. Oh my God. 1B2, habitual devotion to right principles. Wow. We have to do right and left definitions. Fuck. 1C of principle, the laws or facts of nature underlying the working of an artificial device. The laws or facts of nature underlying the working of an artificial device. My God, all of these work. The artificial device, the birth certificate. Wow. 2, a primary source, origin. So that's what I was using when I didn't look it up, and I said that I already know they're talking about the principal people, principles. They're from origin. They're the whole people. They're the people running the show here, guys. Okay, and so that one's fine. All of these are great. Look at that. Number 4, principle. Christian Science, a divine principle. That's God, definition 1B. The incorporeal divine principle ruling overall as eternal spirit, infinite mind. Yeah. So that and that's great too. Fuck it. All of them work. So if we go back here, principles would be the divine principle ruling overall, the placenta, and the procedures. Or it could be the people principles from origin. Procedures for the systematic pursuit of knowledge involving the recognition of a problem. So the scientific, it's so easy, I've got it done. Scientific method is simply, let's just use the principles, the people running it, and the procedures. Scientific method is them on a systematic pursuit for the knowledge. They want to know the knowledge at a specific point here, involving the recognition and formulation of a problem. All right. So they're looking for the scientific method is the pursuit through these their procedures and them running this thing. It's their pursuit for the knowledge involving recognition. Now, recognition, to recognize, 1B, I believe, is to identify as a particular class. Okay? So, it's involving the recognition. So, involving the identification to be a specific class. They're looking for the knowledge. It's the pursuit of the knowledge involving the moment of identifying yourself into a particular class. It's saying, think of heraldry. Think of the old times when you face somebody with a shield and you have to state your purpose and you have to show your family. You have to state who you are, and then either you fight or you don't. But the point is that this moment that they're talking about of recognition is every time you use the name and the birth date in any of the system, then you are recognizing. You're putting yourself in a particular class every time you do that, because you're never going back to origin. You're never identifying. You don't even know your origin. So, but the point is you just keep identifying that as the product of conception, the beginning on the land, their third thing they discovered, and so those principles and their procedures they're on a systematic pursuit for the knowledge of this moment. What is it gonna be? Are you gonna be our thing, or are you gonna be whole from origin? You get it? I mean, it's basically you're stating who you are. Either you can defend your biological property or you can't. But pirate is in your blood, boy, so you'll have to square with that someday. Me, for example. I can let you drown, but I can't bring this ship into Tortuga all by me once, you savvy? So, at the same time that we are recognizing, we're stating what kind of class we want to be in by offering up our government, saying, sure, you can rule me. Yep, I want you to govern me. Yep, I need laws. I need to pay taxes. At the same time that that's happened, there's other knowledge that's happening here too, because they're also stating that they are the Lord, that they're the ones in charge. So they're stating it, and then we're admitting it. Do you understand how fucking clever that is? How simple that is? And how ancient of a idea that is? That in this moment, that we make a choice every day is Judgment Day. Are you going to fall today, or you're going to fall today? And so, but at the same time, every single time that we say that we want to play that part, they're also saying, okay, one more time we get to be Lord. You understand? It's literally in a dime we could stop. If everyone just said no, then it would all drop. That's what's happening here. They're just dangling stuff in front of us. We just keep doing it. The principle of position. Okay, so that's the biggest thing that I want us to understand. So science is the knowledge that's protecting the cut. Let's just put it in layman terms. It's their knowledge that's protecting and defending the truth around the cut, and it's usually obtained through the pursuit of the knowledge of the moment where we just keep agreeing. And they keep saying, okay, we're in charge again. That's what's happening. So, and all the while, all the fucking mathematic and the theory of relativity and all that shit is a parallel to the biology. It's a semaphore signal. Yeah. Let's, for example, look up Newton's law. Isaac Newton. Isaac Newton. New property, new fortune. New fortune. All right. So, what was the famous Apple story? Let's do this. Isaac Newton, Apple. Let's go to Wikipedia. Where's Wikipedia? Isaac Newton, Apple Tree, Wikipedia. Here we go, guys. Okay, so it says here that, oh shit, why did it come? Oh, I see. Newton himself often told the story that he was inspired to formulate his theory of gravitation by watching the fall of an apple from a tree. Ding, 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 ding. How many things did we hear there, guys? Newton himself often told the story that he was inspired to formulate the theory of gravitation by watching the fall of an apple from a tree. The fall from an apple. So the tree is the zygote. It's the ark. It's the family tree. It's origin. That's the zygote. So the zygote is the tree. Yep. And so the apple is the conceptus. And the conceptus, once it goes down to the fallopian tube, it plants the seed plants the tree. Seed plants, and then the fruit, the apple, conceptus, grows into the fetus. And so the fall from the tree is when you come out and you identify as the birth certificate and pledged identity, third thing, mark of the beast, book of Mark, Gospel of Mark, Yep. When that happens and you identify as the product of conception, then you're negating the Father. You're negating origin. You're negating the tree. You're falling from the tree because you'll also become the fallen man. Makes complete sense, right? It's so blatantly obvious that that is exactly what they're talking about here. Fall of an apple from a tree. Yeah. The story is believed to have passed into popular knowledge after being related by Catherine Barton, Newton's niece to Voltaire. Voltaire sounds so amazing. Voltaire then wrote in his essay on epic poetry, Sir Isaac Newton, walking in his gardens, had the first thought of his system of gravitation upon seeing an apple falling from a tree. Riveting. Although it has been said that the apple story is a myth and that he did not arrive at his theory of gravity at any single moment. Exactly. They've been in the know the whole time, their whole life. Acquaintances of Newton, such as William Stuckley, whose manuscript account of 1752 has been made available by the Royal Society. Thanks for that plug, guys. Do in fact confirm the incident, though not the apocryphal version that the apple actually hit Newton's head. I see. Stuckley recorded in his memoirs of Sir Isaac Newton's life a conversation with Newton in Kensington on 15 April 1726. We went into the garden and drank under the shade of some apple trees. Drank tea. That's a weird spelling. Under the shade of some apple trees, only he and myself. Amidst other discourse, he told me he was just in the same situation as when formerly. The notion of gravitation came into his mind, quote, why should that apple always descend perpendicular to the ground? End quote. Thought he to himself, occasioned by the fall of an apple as he sat in a contemplative mood. Quote, why should it not go sideways or upwards, but constantly to Earth's center? That's the placenta cut, Earth center. Assuredly, the reason is that the Earth draws it. Yes, there must be a drawing power in matter. There must be a drawing power in matter. Interesting. And the sum of the drawing power in the matter of the Earth must be in the Earth's center, in the cut. So the sum of the drawing power, wow, that's your part of the matter, the maternal matter is your part. The sum of the drawing power in the matter of the Earth, placenta, must be in the Earth's cut. Yeah, it's like it's in the Earth's center. It's woven. I know that's what it means. Not in any side of the Earth. Not in any side of the Earth. Therefore, does this apple fall perpendicularly or toward the center? If matter thus draws matter, it must be in proportion of its quantity. Therefore, the apple draws the earth. Therefore, the apple draws the earth. Oh, of course. Okay, Yes, as well as the earth draws the apple. This is phenomenal. Think about it, guys. The sperm fertilizes the egg, and Genesis, lowercase g Genesis slash fertilization occurs, and then the 46th chromosome zygote appears. The tree. Mm-hmm. Then in about 24 hours, the conceptus is formed within itself, an identical 46. You and the Father are one. God makes man in his image. Identical 46 chromosomes within itself. Okay, that's the apple. Okay, it's going to be the apple in the end. Okay, this is a seed right now. Tree. All right, now, because that occurred, because the sperm fertilized the egg and the genesis occurred and the zygote is formed, is why that's why the mom's body starts to change. It's now identified that it has this organism, and you're soon going to be pregnant once you implant, by definition. So the point is that because that occurs, you cause the maternal part of the placenta to form. It causes that, right? It's because of the apple, the sun, that causes all the chain reaction to occur into the life form, all right? So because of the apple, it also draws the earth. It creates the earth. The apple draws the earth. It has a reverse gravitational pull because it would have never happened otherwise. You understand? So it's drawing it, it's creating it, it's pulling it out into existence. Now, and at the same time, the zygote doesn't have, it's just nature that is drawn to the wall of the mother's uterus through the fallopian tubes. Now, granted, maybe the thing can't attach to the tubes. Probably not. I don't know how that works, to be honest. But the point is that it is meant and designed to go through the tubes to land into the uterine wall. So there's that thing has a earth, and that's earth by definition. When it hits the mother part of the placenta, the wall, that's earth, Mother Earth, the matrix, the wall. Yeah. So that is also drawing the apple down at the same time. Do you see how that works biologically? There. My point is this. That is Lacey. I've already done an episode a long time ago on this, so I don't want to do it too much, but I wanted to make sure that I was accurate, and I was. So, science, scientific method, all the things that they're doing in there. Granted, there's some real things happening in science. I get it. We've learned a lot. I understand that. But the general push inside of the schools and the Rockefeller, all that science and NASA and all that stuff is all a semaphore signal for the science, the knowledge covering the truth about the cut and the moment of recognition, right? All right. I have to go back to work. Sorry, guys. I really do. That was fun. I was making it nice and short, all right? So get over it.